Hey y'all, it's Allison here, and it's day 18 of my Daniel fast for weight loss. And I just first want to start by saying I'm a flight attendant if you're just now watching my videos. And I was working today, and when I landed and got into the van to take the shuttle to the hotel for the night, I went on Facebook, and the first thing I saw was Chadwick Boseman passed away from cancer. And Chadwick Boseman is the main character in the Marvel movie Black Panther. Y'all, I saw that movie 5 times, or at least 5 times, and I believe it's the first thing I ever saw Chadwick Boseman in. But I've seen him in other things since then. But the main thing is he died from cancer. We didn't know he had cancer. At least I know I didn't know. I don't think it was known to the public that he had cancer. And I, I believe it said that he was diagnosed with it in 2014, and it's 2020. It's been 6 years. And my prayers really go out to his family. Y'all, he was too young. He was 43 years old. I'm 43 years old. That is too young. I don't even have the words to say. All I can say is, may his soul rest in eternal love and peace. And I'm glad he's out of any suffering he may have been in. I don't know the details, but it was cancer, so I'm assuming towards the end there was probably some suffering involved. And may his family have the peace that they, you know, at some point, with grief, you have to take it one day at a time. So I'm sending all of my heartfelt love to Chadwick Boseman's family. He's in a great place. I know that. And I know that mentally his family knows that as well. But I know they're going to probably need a lot of support as they are going through this grief. So my prayers are with the family. Now, 2020 has been a very interesting year. I mean, we started out with Kobe Bryant passing away tragically with his daughter, and also with fellow friends that he was with. That was how we started the year. And, it ended up, we ended up with this virus that, of course, wreaked havoc all throughout the world, the COVID-19. I mean, it's changed. It's really changed everything. I know I'm in the airline industry, and it is not the airline industry that it's not a normal airline industry. Let's just put it this way. And of course, these companies are losing billions of dollars. I'm grateful to be at the airline that I'm at. Many people have taken what's called voluntary leaves or voluntary furloughs to help save the company. And I'm only able to take 1 month of leave. That's all I can afford right now, because my husband, his company went bankrupt as a result of the COVID. They were already having some problems, but anyhow, they lost a buyer. Blah 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 blah. I'm not going into the details. So now he's in a different job. He has a job. Thank you. He does, but it's not nearly what close to what he was doing. But his happiness scale is very high, and I know that's all I can ask for. So I'm grateful for that. But 2020 has been a very interesting year, and in my last video, I believe I talked about possibly, about a shift, like I know I've been having several paradigm shifts as a result of this year. One of them is getting my health in order, which is actually why I'm on this path to veganism to begin with. So there's been a lot of shifts happening, and I'm sorry, y'all. I just found out about Chadwick Boseman, and I'm I'm just like, it's unbelievable. I mean, we may, the shock is has a lot to do with the fact that we didn't know he was sick to begin with, but my mind is still blown right now. But I'm going to get through this. I want to make this video. So, there's just been a lot of things happening. And there's been a lot of good things happening as well, because where there's suffering and pain, there's always the opposite as well. And I know in my life, I can say that, I have a lot of gratitude for my company, for God, to my husband, for my life, for my health, and for this journey that whoever's watching this is sharing with me, and maybe even going through the same journey. But I guess I'm gonna get to the food part of what I ate today. But if you're watching this, and I don't know what year you're watching this, but right now this is 2020. This is August. It's after midnight, so it's now August 29th. Chad Boseman died August 28th. But if you're watching this, and if you're, for instance, having some deep turmoil in your life, and turmoil can be caused by anything, there's not a, because we're all different, the cause of turmoil is different, And so whatever it is that you're going through or struggling with or scared about, maybe you have health issues, maybe you're having financial issues. I guess the one thing I'm going to implore is to shift your thoughts into faith and hope. Even if things are seeming hopeless right now, to shift your thoughts into faith and hope, and even what's the word I'm trying to and finding a place of peace. So basically, surrendering over to the situation that you happen to be in right now. I had to do that several years back. I went through a divorce out of a relationship that I was in for 12 years, and I didn't know. I was just lost, to be perfectly honest with you. I didn't have a financial plan. I didn't have a plan for anything except for to close the marriage. And I'm going to say this, my ex-husband is a great man. I'm not going to say anything negative about my ex-husband. I'm just going to say that the marriage itself was not working for me. So I didn't have a plan, and I started having panic attacks to put on top of that. So I'm going through a divorce. I don't have a plan. I don't have the financial means. And now I'm having panic attacks, you guys. I had a year of hot messiness. Because I had so much anxiety. I mean, in fact, the first time it happened, I thought I was having a heart attack. That's how bad it was. But I got put on all kinds of medication. And because I was 35, because this was a few years back, I was 35 years old, and there was no prior history. Basically, now the doctors are guessing. I'm not gonna blame the doctors. They're trying to do what they think they need to do based on what they're seeing, and what they're seeing is a woman that's having a nervous breakdown. All right, so now the medicine. Okay, so now I'm gonna speed this up. So now I get out of a state of having panic attacks. I'm still not into a state of knowing what I'm gonna do. I eventually ended up back in Michigan. I was living in Virginia. I ended up back in Michigan, which is where I grew up. and the cost of living was lower in Michigan. So I eventually just made my way back there. I went back there kicking and screaming, but I'm so glad I did. Um, okay, so the panic attacks are now under control, somewhat, not completely under control, but there's you know there's bouts of them being under control at certain times. Because this was a year, I had a year of trying to figure things out, and it took a year before I finally got myself settled and financially on my feet. But the medicine that I was on for panic attacks did something to my sleep. So now I'm not able to sleep. Neurologically, I just can't go to sleep. And you can say, oh, well, calm your mind, do yoga. Yeah, I did all of that. And I can just be sitting there, just doing nothing, hanging out, and I can't get to sleep. And to this day, I have to take a sleeping pill. It just is what it is. And, for those of you guys that are anti medication, you know what? I'm with you. Like, yay, no medicine. However, me, I got to work and I got to be functional. So I got to do what it is going to take to get me there. And that is take what I need to get to sleep. I just have to do it. It is what it is. But where was I going with this? Okay. When things started changing, turning around at that time in my life, um, it was when I had to shut the world out, basically, because everybody wants to input advice or input what they think you need to do or this or that based on what they're saying. But I knew that I was the only one who really knew what I was going through and what my real issue was and what my real fears were, um, and where my lack of confidence was. So those are things that people don't know because they're meaning well. They're well meaning, but it's just causing chatter, a lot of chatter in my head, and it was not helping me. In fact, it was kind of making my anxiety worse. So what I ended up doing was I pretty much shut the world out. Now, shutting the world out right now during COVID is an easy thing to do because most of us are isolating anyhow, unless we have to go to work where we can't be isolated. So I shut the world out and I filled my head with inspirational things that were lifting me up, helping me to build myself up from the inside out. So I was watching Oprah Super Soul Sunday. I was watching Joel Osteen. I was watching anything. I was just watching and reading anything that I could get my hands on to help me build my core, my mental core, my spiritual core, and my emotional core. And it ended up working out. I'm not saying I never get anxiety anymore. I'm not saying that I don't go into stages where I, have panic attacks. It happens. But it doesn't happen that often. And it happened as a result of a shift, as a result of understanding that for me, that the best thing I can do in situations that I don't have full clarity on, or or I'm just don't understand what's going on, is to surrender over to it. And I trust in God. I'm a believer in God. I trust in that God is going to reveal what I need to do to at least get to the next step. It might not be what I need to do to get from A to Z, but that's not what we do anyhow. We don't go from A to Z. We go from A to B and then from B to C. So, you know, and it all happened from the concept of surrendering. So this year, 2020, has been not a great year for a lot of people for various reasons, not all for the same reason. Some it's health, some it's money, some it's just now they don't have the time. They're working full time, even if they're working from home, but now they have to homeschool their kids, and that's creating a lot of stress. There's just so many things going on right now. On top of that, there's because of um, things happening in the news that involves police brutality and things of that nature. There's been protests, and unfortunately, some of the protests, and it not from the protesters, because protesters don't loot, but unfortunately, alongside some of these protests have been looting that's been creating a devastation as well. So we have that, and then we have natural things such as hurricanes happening that's causing flooding in various places. And it's like 2020 is almost like it's like a big joke that we're gonna wake up from and realize, none of that was real, but it is real. It's like unimaginable things have been happening, like a virus that's taken over the world. That's something that you would expect to see in a horror film, not something you would expect to see in real life. So this would be a good year to make a shift and to enter into a what's the word what's the word I'm thinking of, aspect of, not aspect, but I can't think of the word, you guys, I'm sorry, but enter into a mindset, I guess, of surrendering, of sort of letting go, and then trusting that God has your back. Just having trust and faith in that, because we don't know where we're going to be tomorrow. We don't know where our loved ones are going to be tomorrow. We don't know anything, and I hope that this year has taught us that we really don't know anything. That we know so much, but we don't know anything. Life has taught us a lot, but we still don't know anything. We're a speck in the grand scheme of the universe. So that's all I got. That's all I got. Okay, I'll tell you what I ate. Today I ate, because I think yesterday or the day before yesterday. Yeah, yesterday I went to Sprouts. So I packed my food bag with a delicious salad, which was kale and tomatoes and cucumbers, and I made a homemade salad dressing with apple cider vinegar, some vegetable oil, and spices. Oh, and I put Brussels, or not Brussels, alfalfa sprouts on them. And I ate it today, and guess what? I made so much, I'm going to eat some more tomorrow. So that's going to save me some money, not having to spend money on DoorDash like I always do. And I snacked on some mushroom chips and some green beans, some crispy green beans. And what else did I have? I made an acorn squash. I cut it in half. I brought both halves. I ate one half with the stuffing that I made for it, which was sautéed kale, spinach, and mushrooms. So I stuffed that in the acorn squash. I had that. It was delicious. It was filling. Tomorrow I'm going to eat the rest of it. And I made my avocado chocolate pudding. So basically it's a chocolate pudding, but the base is avocado, which gives it that creaminess. But as long as you get it ripe, the avocado ripe, you cannot taste the avocado. And that's very important, because I did it with an unripe avocado, and it's disgusting. You could taste that. You could taste it. It tastes like green, grassy green. So, so that's what I ate today. And it's day 18. I'm almost at the end of this portion of my Daniel fast for weight loss. I'm going to day 21, so I just have a few more days, which I'm looking forward to, because I'm going to treat myself to some vegan burgers. So, all right. I love you guys. We're going to get through all of this. We're going to get through 2020. We're going to get through this fast. We're going to, keep going down the path of healthy living. And I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye, you guys. Bye.